Sorry about that, having some food. We're just waiting for the other drivers to join up since we have a few reserves joining today. We should have 6 more drivers. We should have a full grid. We should have a full grid for the day. So we should have a nice full grid for today's race. 20 drivers around Mexico. As we have just a few more drivers turning up, we have now 3 more, and then we should have a nice full grid because we're just waiting for Josh Unknown and the Williams, and then both Red Bulls. Oh man, so we're looking forward to an exciting race, as unfortunately Google has won the title after a bit of a downshift by Drake, who decides to lose the PC fully, so he's not really racing these last 3 races, which is very unfortunate after what the title was equal at the moment. So we will only have Drake this racing, as we're just waiting for Kian and Josh and then one more driver to join, and then that should be everyone. So hopefully they join, so we won't get any delays today. Just get the invites again quickly to them so they know they've got plenty. Josh is here, so we'll just go for both Red Bulls and then we can get going today. Okay, so we're just waiting for one guy to reset his PSN, and then we've just got to wait for both Red Bulls and we can get going today. Around Mexico, 36 laps. Just waiting for Kian to hopefully come online, because obviously people are going to want to get going as soon as possible. And just hopefully that he's going to join in time. Leave your comments in the description who you think is going to win today and what the top 3 could be. Obviously, because F2 had a very hectic race. Obviously, we had 2 new podium people. We had Super Thomas and Yomi getting their first podium. Yomi's actually racing today here in the Alpha Tauri today, as Cole dominated in Mexico, and he races today in the Merc. So we've got also Alex from F4 racing in the Red Bull. He'll be joining soon. But it looks like Kian is unfortunately not going to join today. So Kian unfortunately will not be racing today in the Red Bull. Something must have happened. As I forgot, obviously, to tell that it's just me today, since Wojtinho is deciding to race. Completely forgot about that until he messages now. Wojtinho is racing today, and he is in the Haas car today, along with David. Alright, so let's hopefully get the weather. As we've already got a prediction already, they think Coles is going to win yet again, Because Collins in F2 dominated the race. He only lost a few, did not leave only for a few laps, and that was during the pit stop windows. But he was a monster around here. He won by nearly 10 seconds along the line, and everyone behind had penalties, so he finished 16 seconds ahead, which is astounding around this track. Especially because he pulled out of DRS. He was in the harder compound tyres compared to the rest, and just still pulled away. So his setup is very good around here. But let's see if anyone is going to stop Collins, or is Guwil going to get another victory here today at Mexico? As we're going to wait for quali. Hopefully, it's a nice dry whole race. As it's dry, looks like for the quali, but I'm waiting for a Jack who's in Funky to tell us the weather for the race, and he's going to send us some pictures. You never know what's going to happen. Obviously, you might not get lapped. You might actually be helping out some drivers in traffic. You never know. It's Mexico. But we'll just wait for everyone to pick get their setups on, make sure the tyres are picked. Since I think... apparently Tobias says there could be rain halfway through. Let's see. Yes, it actually is. It could rain 30 minutes into the race. So that's going to be quite a bit of a twist. So the laps, it's 36 laps here. So the rain might be coming the last 10 laps. Because you do remember this game is very broken for weather. Oh, rain in 5 minutes, and the rain happens in 2 minutes. But we'll have to wait and see how it's going, as the cars are starting to come out now. First out is going to be Mako Butter. You've got not a penalty. You got another podium last week in a Spa. See P2, a solid drive by him. I'm just hoping that we're going to have a nice clean race today. The rain is definitely going to throw a wild card up today. Someone could go for a wet setup to nick some advantage. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens here today. Since Mexico's one of those tracks, when it gets wet, it's very difficult to keep the car controlled. As I got another comment from Masiek, he said he's very excited for the Guwil and Collins fight. Says Collins, obviously, he could definitely be an F1 driver next season with this pace now. Because he's learned no ABS and his pace is destructive. As I think it looks like it's going to be Axa who's going to be the first lap. Since he's got ahead of Guwil and Makabota, and he's going to have a nice clear track ahead of him. He might catch some cars in Sector 1. But let's see how this goes. We'll stick to Axa on the first lap of Mexico. As I remember, the track limits around here are very deadly, especially in Sector 2, so one lap could be all they can get. You never know around Mexico. As Axa is going to have no tow or anything. As he's enters turn 1 now, he has a Haas ahead of him, which I think might be David. As yellow flags just in Sector 3, cars slowing down. Yeah, it is Wojtinho, gets out of the way, thankfully. As we go to the first sector, it's going to be a 28.2. We'll jump on Guwil just to see what his time is. The 28.6. So Axe is 4 attempts ahead right now. So Guwil, this might be his track, which his pace diminishes a bit. But you never know, he could get all the time back in Sector 2. This twisty section is very hard to get perfect. But Axe is acing it right now, keeping it in the curbing, and good sector time coming up. 55.4. 55.5, sorry. Axa, yeah, Guwil is nearly 6 attempts down in Axa, so he's struggling. Around for quali pace, it seems, as Axa's just got the final corner, upshifts to 4. Goes for a tight exit, hugs the curbing, and comes alive. It's a 14.4 for Axa. That's already beat F2's. He's 3 attempts off. Collins' pole position time. Makabota's P2. Guwil's only P3 unless he's going for back-to-back laps. Hassan P4. Cameron P4, but on the mediums. Next is going to be Silas. Comes a line, and he's invalidated, so he's going for another lap. A Red Bull. It's alright. Sorry, I'm going to butcher that name. RGB P7 now comes to the line. I think that's Josh Unknown. No, I think it was Josh Unknown. He invalidated his lap. Yomi is P5 now. So next the car is going to cross the line is not going to be Nolan Loser. He's on an outlap. It's going to be Javier, who's invalidated. And what would his lap would have been? Oh, he did a bit make a mistake. Corns is out his outlap now on the medium, so I think he's getting a bit of feel for the track first. The wall goes P6. David. As Cameron's dad's rooting on Cameron today, it seems, in the Alfa Romeo. I'm going to wait for this to go away as a yellow sector. All the cars are just trying to get past cars who finish their laps. Sorry, I might have missed a little bit of that. Yeah, I did miss it. Funky's gone P11 on softs. Let's see, anyone else finishing the lap right now? Google, I think, has gone for back-to-back, and I don't... Yeah, it hasn't worked out for him. He hasn't improved his time massively. As that was... Who was that? He's got... Some people are going for back-to-back. A GMAL goes back-to-back and gains into P5 now. This is an F4 driver, everyone. So this could be a very interesting practice because it looks like he takes a lap for the tyres. Because we've got more comments about Cameron's dad watching happily. But so the qualifying so far, it looks like it's going to be for a low 14 pole position. As who was that? Javier's jumped to P3 with a clean lap. Who is that coming? Is that Josh or is that Funky going for back-to-back? No, Funky's backed off his lap. He's pitting this lap. Noiluzu is about to finish his lap though. I know he's pitting, he thinks he's not good enough, but that is Korn's coming up next. On the medium tyres, what's his lap going to be? A 32.1, so I think he's just warming the tyres up. So this could be a bit of a bold strategy by Korns here, since he's trying to warm his tyres up before the lap. As that Silas comes to the pits along with GML. But we'll stick to Corn to see what his sector times are going to be, since I think everyone's going for the pits now. Hassan's going to the pits. You've got Wojtinho going for a pits. Pardon me. And sorry, Wojtinho's going for back to lap, sorry. So he's coming to the line now. And it's a P10, a 15.8 for Wojtinho. Axe is already out for a second run. That's very quick by Axe there to get out. Well, he feels he can improve his time as but we're going to go back to Corns. As he's coming to sector 2 line now. He's 12 seconds up because he backed out. So it's a 120s right now he's on. So Corns has struggled a bit on the mediums. But I'm wondering if he's going to pull any more massive strategy out on the softs, because he got a 14.1 in qualifying in the race, in qualifying in F2, and it's a 15.5 for him on the mediums. So solid lap for him on the mediums, and that means he can probably go at least a second quicker. So this could be a race that Corns could show himself to the F1 drivers here today. Because he got a low 14.1 on his qualifying in F2, so he could get pole if he gets that lap again. But I'm going to go back to Axa, who's just about to start his second lap. He's got his teammate of Joker ahead, who's just about to finish his lap, who's just started his lap, sorry. But we'll stick on board him, let's see, hopefully he can clear the storm of the traffic ahead. As Liam leaves the session, hopefully I'll get him an invite back. As these corners you've got to get right or you will invalidate. But as Joker keeps it clean, keeps it going. Yellow flag just to cut back. Oh no, that's no loser. He spun out. He spun out, and thankfully Codes is on an in lap. Oh, that would have really distracted him. But Noilers has had a huge moment in the corner, as he's lost his full front wing. So a bad call for the AlphaTauri driver at the moment. But we're going to go back on the Joker, who's a pro. He's got away from all this traffic. And Joker's obviously a 56.7, so that's a second and a bit slower than Axe's time. I'm going to jump on board with Axa quickly. He's only about a 10th upper right now. I'll stick to Axa, see what he can do. As that is Google ahead. He might get a little bit of slipstream coming up on the last corner here. No, he's just too far back. So, as a Joker goes P14, and Axa goes even faster. He's at 14-1 now for the Frenchman. So Axa's definitely on form today. Are we going to see someone apart from Drake and Google win a race today? As that's a Red Bull. Oh, that's Jim L. He's spun out. And Hassan gets a penalty. Hassan's hit the back of the wall, which has given him a penalty. But Google's on a lap as well. And he's 5 tenths up already. Google now is making a push for pole. As it's just, I think, look, no one else has improved in their time. No, Ken, sorry, jumps to P2 now. Good tap hit by the Alfa Romeo driver. Comes on the line now. That was Funky, I think, to start. No, that's Josh Unknown to start his lap. But we'll go back to Goodwill to see how much time he's gained in Sector 2 now. He has 7 tenths up. He is definitely going for that pole. He had a bad first lap, but he's now shown his pace in the second lap. Comes just the same second to go. Just one more corner. Is Goodwill going to challenge Axa for pole position? Was this lap? Doesn't take us tight exit, and it's at 14.17. It's 7 milliseconds quicker. Goodwill snatched it away from Axa at the moment. As Funky comes to the line, he's setting his first time at 14.6 for him. He jumps all the way to P3. But the laps are going to get even faster. Well, this is going to be a very tense qualifying. That is Cameron, I think, crossing the line. You know, he's pitting, so he could be going for softs now. But, wow, this qualifying is going to be interesting, you can tell. Who was that? Is that Joker on another lap? Or was he pitting? No, that's Joshua No, who's invalidated again, unfortunately. And he's going to call it a day in pits. No losers on an out lap. That is Javier, who's on a lap right now. RGB, Cole's on an out lap on softs. He's already jumped to the soft runs. I don't think anyone's going to be finishing a lap now, apart from RGB, who looks to be going for back-to-back laps. He's just got the Alpha P ahead of him, which hopefully shouldn't hinder him. But this qualifying is going to be tense, though, 7 milliseconds, and there's got probably one more run to go. RGB's 3 tenths up now. But he's definitely being a push. That's the car that's valid. So he's invalidated just before the stadium. As who was that? That was the walking on the way. Very dangerous. Not very dangerous. Like very suddenly to the right there. But I can't see anyone on a lap at the moment. Oh no, Yolmir, but he's invalidated. Javier is invalidated. This track is deadly for track limits. You get literally a bit wrong and you lose the lap completely. So this is one of those tracks you've got to be fully focused, and penalties as well is a major factor on here. In F2 we only had 2 drivers and have no penalties. And that was Super Thomas, who managed to get a podium because of that. So penalties are very good to control, as Noyes goes P7 was a 51. Javier's coming to the line, but he's hitting into the pits as Cones is on a lap now. He's 9 tenths up now. Is he going to go for a challenge and pull now against the F1 drivers? There he comes, the last corner now. What is Cones' lap going to be? It's a 13.2. He P3 at most, but he did a 14.1 in F2. Can he gain more time? Because he wants to fit a low 13. Let's see, anyone else is on a lap. Cameron's on an out lap. I think that's Hassan on a lap. He's kept it valid, 4 tenths up nearly. Takes the S's, keeps it in the curve, so this could be a solid lap by Hassan here. 5 tenths up now, so that will put him into the top. That would push him into P12 at the moment. But let's see what he's going to do. He's just got the stadium sector to go. What's Hassan's lap going to be here on the soft? He'll probably have one more run. Comes the line now. It's a 15.5, P12 for him. And who was that? Is that Noilus who's invalidated? And he's pitted straight away. So now it looks like everyone's going to have one more roll of the dice to get pole position. But The big battle is going to be Corns, Axa, and Guwil all going to be pushing for it. There's a lot of cars on outlaps just trying to improve their time. You got Silas starting a lap, you've got Nawar finishing one lap now, he's nearly 4 attempts up. We'll keep an eye on him as he crosses the line, and he's second now. And he jumps to P12, 15.4. But it looks like RGB's on an outlap, you got Corns obviously getting the pits now. So yes, it is going to be a 3-lap shoot as Cameron comes out of nowhere with a 39. Cameron's one of those guys. Cameron's one of those guys who's been only in a few races, but you can definitely tell he's had pace, and this shows it. Is this going to be his first pole? You'll have maybe one more run. He has to track instead. That probably. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. As Guwil's out in the pits already, I think a lot of cars are going to come out now. RGB's just finishing his lap. The star is official. Hassan's come to the pits now. We'll jump to Silasis, who's 8 attempts up at the moment, so he could jump it. He could jump up a lot of spots and maybe the top 10. Oh, a bit of understeer there coming out the exit. It's a 14.8, P7 for him now. And is that Josh Renault out on mediums now? Is Fat Funky coming? No. As I've said, there is rain in half an hour in the race. So this could spice up the race as every car has got out for outlaps now. As I'm going to see who I can find is on an outlap. Obviously, Guwil's going to... As Cameron... Oh, that's just letting both Mercs by. Let's see who's on a lap right now. RGB is the only car on a lap at the moment. Before everyone's going to start rushing to laps now. But he's... As Nawar... Oh, Nawar's crashed out in turn 1. Oh, it's unfortunate for Nawar, who's P10 at the moment, so he might drop down. But he could have a free choice of tyres. But no, he's retired the oh no. RGB comes to the line now. Last lap for the session of 17.6. He will stay at P17. But now, let's see. I'm going to jump as Cameron has not improved. He's not going out again. So, Guwil, Axa and all, I've got a chance for a lap. But I think Guwil's made a mistake. He's backed out of his lap. But that could open the door now for Axa, who's just started his lap. Who is going to get pole position in today? We do not know. Is Funky going to pull something else? Any of the ones outside the top 6 going to score? Silas will finish his last 38. Fortunately, no improvement, and I don't think there's enough time now. As Liam's going to give Makabotto a tour down the backstretch, and there's going to back out. Yes, that's a Red Bull, and that's our GML. What's happened to him? But Axe's not getting, and Axe's invalidated. That's Axe's pole chance is gone. So now, Cameron's the only obstacle between Guwil and Corns for pole position today. Oh, this is going to be very close to the end. But can Funky do anything? Funky's 2 attempts down already. As I'm just trying to keep it out. Javier goes P9 now on the softs. He's in the top 10 now. It's just very hard to keep an eye on everything. Yomi pushes him back down though into P9. These are going to be the last few laps now, obviously. Josh Unknown, unfortunately, will start last. He could not get a lap in, unfortunately, around this track. But I'm going to cut to Makabotto. Is he going to improve anymore? He's half a temp up. Oh, Josh Unknown crashed out! Makabotto goes P6! But the P6 a good solid position for the start of the race. That looks like who bumped up there? I don't know if I missed that, but I'll stick to Funky. Come to the line, but he's unfortunately not going to improve, and we'll stay at P5. But Corns is a 10th up now. Is he going to get anywhere near pole position times? Axel must have invalidated. Well, Axel's gone for another run. That's why. Corns is one of the last cars now. Is he going to make a back-to-back poles in F2 and F1? Comes to the line. He can't. He's just nearly a tenth and a bit off. Oh, unfortunately, Corns will stop here. Google does it. He's pinched it. But Axa, can he do it now? Who is going to get pole position in Mexico? Axel's round the final corner now. Comes the lie, he caught! Google snatched it in the last seconds for pole position. Oh, what a qualifying! But that pace is expect. Google looked like he was struggling at first, but then pulled out the pace to get pole just by 14 milliseconds. Oh, this race is shaping up to be something good. As we're just waiting for all the cars to get in the pits or retire, which is just Yolmir, and then we can get going. If this qualifying is anything to go by, you can tell the race is going to be very entertaining. As yet again, Google gets another pole position, just beating out Cameron, this time by 14 milliseconds. Axel unfortunately just couldn't get anywhere near these two and will start P3, but he has the best position as proven by Max in real life. Corn's P4 though, a great result by him from the F2 driver. Then we have Funky, Makobotta, Ken, Jim Silicis, Yolmir, and Javier in the top 10, and it's people who can pick any tyres is Noir, Joker, Noiloser, Kokolikit, I feel so bad for saying that. RGB, Wojtinho, Hassan, Leah, and Josh Renault, who unfortunately just couldn't get a full on that. But Hassan will start last from that penalty he picked up, the grid penalty. So this race could be one of the most entertaining ones yet, because Cameron's finally pulled the pace out. So as Google got another challenger with no Drake here. But we'll have to find out who's going to be leading into turn 1. So this could be fun. And obviously we have rain hot in 30 minutes in the race, but it could come much, much earlier. You never know with this game. As they think the pole, Google says they're going to win, or somebody else. Because I feel like people have put their name towards Cameron, who could win the race, obviously. But I'm curious what the strategies are going to be now. If the rain 30 minutes at the end, what tyre do you want to be on when the rain comes? Do you want to be on mediums? Do you want to be on softs? But we'll have to wait and see what the strategy is going to be, because a lot of the guys in F2 did try to do a one stop, but the safety cars came out and ruined that. But this could be a great chance for Cohen to see how good he is compared to these guys. Obviously, Cohen's dominated F2's race. So let's see, as we're going to get the tyre strategies up now. Ooh, you got a bit of a gambler. RGB and Noir have gone for hards. Hassan's got softs. But everyone apart from RGB and Hassan and Noir have gone for mediums, which is expected, because this track is a very high demanding track for tyres, because the softs will start dying off about lap 9, 10, that's when they start dying off. But Google has another pole position today, but this is the pole position where it's very hard to hold position for turn 1 unless you get an absolute stellar start. So this is going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. But now this race start could be entertaining, as proven by the real life Mexico race, because Max started P3 and was the leading by turn 1. So can the tour help guys like Cameron, Axa, Coles to get ahead of Google? But now, as Google should be taken over by the AI now. Yep, as we're just waiting for all the cars now, and let's see who's going to win today's race in Mexico and where the tyres are going to be going. As Cameron has backed up quite a bit to Google at the end there. But it's fine because we don't have any ruling for that at the moment. As Hassan's the last car on the grid on the Ferrari, who obviously had a grid penalty unfortunately. Alright, so let's see how this race goes. Sorry, I'm going to turn the volume down before this race starts quickly. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna just in time as the Hassan's the last corner. What the hell is that camera angle? No, I'm not using that. That's ridiculous. As here we go for the lights coming on. 5 lights are on, and we are way here at Mexico. Google's got a slow start, but Cole's got a blinder. It's not side by side with Axel already. Now, is this going to help anyone get past Google with the tour? Better back, Cole's is going for it. Cameron's going to the outside. He's going to go with Google. Oh, Google's gone! Google spun out! Google was way too low. The brakes have spun out into the last place. Cameron leads into turn 2. And that's a joke if someone's having him in the back. But that's a horror show for Google. Yes, he has won the championship, but he's now unfortunately from pole position to last. But he's already gained 2 positions as 5-second penalties have already been awarded to Noise and Jimmy Hill. Cameron leads with Cohen's P2. And they are slowly pulling away from Axe and Funky already. Is Cohen's going to get back-to-back victories here in Mexico? In 2 different tiers. We'll have to wait and see as we're going to finish lap 1. Cameron's going to be leading today. Is this his shot now? Is he going to get his first victory in a row? But we'll have to wait and see because he has one of the probably the best drivers around this track. Cohen's all over his rear. The War has just got past the... something's happened in the War. He's got... Ooh, his collar's sliding quite a bit, it seems. As Jimmy Hill's pitting. He's got damage. As they've got... Oh, wow. Google's already made 6... Has only made 5 positions already. That's incredible. But he is in car. He has Hassan ahead who's on the same tyres as him now. So this could be a bit of a struggle. As further ahead, the War and Lee are side by side in the turn 1. Lee will have the inside now. And the War just can't do it. He's got a bad exit. Hassan could make a move here. But as they're already losing touch to the P10s now. So the only one who's kept up is Noilus on the mediums. So this could be a bit of a horror show for the guys. As Nawar's holding up everyone. Google's gone for a move on the inside. And he's only the P13. As Ken's the first penalty was track limit. 3 seconds in lap 2. But Cameron is just eating away from Coens now. Coens just can't keep to his pace. Cameron's just showing a lot of pace here. They've got the CBRS. Oh, sorry, voice crack. Voice crack there. As Joshua Nolan gets past Wojtinho for P15. Oh, a bit of hargy-bargy. But Josh gets the position. Cameron still leads. So you got AXA P3. Obviously, the podium now obviously is open for a lot of drivers. But we'll have to wait and see as DRS is going to be activated when they get to Sector 2 now. As AXA has a bit of a moment! And Funky could be there, he might get the better exit here. And Funky's side by side. No, Funky just can't pick the move, but there was a golden opportunity there for Funky. But he's just going to wait it out, I think, for DRS, because AXA's now unfortunately lost it to Courtons. As we've already got RGB and GML already half a track behind these guys. But Coens has started to reel in Cameron now. So Coens might have the golden opportunity to get past and get away from everyone. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this. Funky's had a lot of time loss. He was all over the race before the S's. But we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen as we're going to start lap 3. This will be when the first DRS detection on the start-finish straight now. The major overtaking area in Mexico. Yellow flags, that is Wojtinho in the Haas. Cameron obviously now has a DRS cone that's chasing him down. I don't think he's going for a move. I think he actually is. He's going for it. He's going to go for it last second here. No ERS used at all and blitzes him. To P1, Cohen takes the lead again. And Funky's lost the position to back up bottom. So the DRS is proven there. That's how strong it is. Oh, that's why Funky didn't have DRS. I was wondering why he got overtaken so easily. He didn't have any DRS. But Google is now a huge gap to overcome to get anywhere near the top 10. But he's had a brilliant recovery drive already. All the way to P11 after was P19 after turn 2. But Guil obviously is trying, he's going for another victory, you can tell. But Noiluzer might be in trouble if he doesn't catch up to him, because his tyres will start dying off, and then Noiluzer will have the tyres. But we'll have to wait and see here, as a big DRS train start to form. But let's see if Makabota, is he going to get anywhere near Axel? Axel had a bit of a squirmy moment in turn 2, which cost him DRS. But we'll jump to Cameron now. Is Cameron going to get past Collins here again? Or is he just going to stick behind? Joker gets a position on Josh Unknown. But we'll stick to these two, as I think, yeah, Cameron's just going to stay in Collins' DRS. But look how more powerful it is. He gains like 8 miles an hour, but I'm going to go further back. Is Funky going to go for a late move? No, he's just too far back, and everyone else will stay in position. But this could be a bit of an interesting strategy, because the best call right now is Noiluzer if he could just keep to the pace the guys ahead of him, because he'll be dragged along with DRS, and he has the mediums which can go much further. And you never know, the rain could come out when he's on his first medium set still. Because obviously this game is very inconsistent with timing. It'll say half an hour, but the rain could happen in like 20 minutes. But Cameron and Collins are just a class of their own right now. They are 2 seconds away from Axa, who has the pole right now, and he's got no DRS of Makabottle catch up to him. But Cameron now is pressing Collins now. This could be the battle for the lead today here. It won't be Guil for once, it's going to be Cameron who's going for his first victory, as Ken gets another penalty, and Collins. Collins has already proved himself. He's a great racer in F2 after learning the ABS, and we really hope to see him in F1 next season. So if he can do this, this is a clear sign that Collins could be F1 bound next season. As further back, it looks like Funky has got past Makabottle into P4 now. He's now going to get back to DRS of AXA, or he will be overtaken again by Makabottle. We've got Yolmir, Ken, Javier, Solis, as Josh Unknown gets another position on Hassan this time. So he's on the charge now, but Guil's actually, the fact that Lee was right behind him a few laps ago is pulled away by 3.5 seconds. And the car ahead of him is just 2 seconds. Guil's pace is astounding in the race. But we are on lap 6 now. This is when the softs are going to start feeling a bit weird lately. This is when the softs are going to slowly start going off. Not majorly, you won't feel it, but obviously the drivers will start like noticing little differences. But let's just hope we don't see any punches today, obviously, because Collins knows that all too well. He was leading the F2 race in Spain, had a puncher, and obviously unfortunately took him out of the race and finished P11. No points for Collins after a dominant victory in Spain. As there's still no DRS to Axa, who is slowly pulling away. Is Makabottle going to go for a late move? He thinks better of it. As Joker gets past Hassan, is Hassan pitted already? Lap 5 on the softs. As Makabottle has a bit of a scurrying over, that might cost him some speed to catch up to Funky, who was just trying to catch up to Axa for DRS. But Axa's managing his tyres and managing the gap perfectly. So unless a big mistake happens to Axa, Funky's going to be in a bit of a tough race today unless he can catch up to Axa's DRS. Which I say this, he is slowly starting to catch, as I said this. He probably won't get DRS in the first sector, but he might if he can get a good sector 3. But we'll have to wait and see, as we're going to start that A, and these two are still going at it. Collins feels much more comfortable than Lee, and Cameron looks to be set behind because look at his DRS. He has a full tank of DRS ready to burn. And Collins knows that Cameron's not using any either, so Collins is using the long game and knows if he holds him, obviously he can explode his pace when he wants. But this DRS train now goes all the way from P4 to P11. Guil is at a storming recovery. He's already nearly into the points. As we're going to go back to the cars ahead. Funky might be able to take by 2 cars. No, just Makabottle. As Guil goes to P10 on Noiluzer now. This is showing why Guil deserves his championship this season. He's having an absolute storm of a recovery. And now he's going to chase the cars ahead of him, and his car ahead of him is a teammate. Josh Unknown gets past Noir, contact! And Noir has to accept defeat there. But he has DRS on Josh now. He might come back, but here comes Joker. Is it going to be 3 wide? It is! And, oh, it's going to be a squeeze here! Oh my word! But Noir, yeah, that had to happen. Noir had to take advantage off track. And Josh Unknown unfortunately backs off, and I'm hoping he doesn't have any front wing damage because of that. As Noir and Joker side by side, Joker explore! Bit of a say there, it's going to lose position to Josh. And Josh gets past him as well. This is only for P13, everyone. But these three are battling like it's the lead. As here comes David again. He locks the brakes and goes wide. Oh, Joker had a huge moment there as well. But let's see, as Cameron takes the lead there, unfortunately, when I've been watching those. So now he feels like he can get away from Cones. As there he goes, obviously Cones now needs to stick to him. Or he's not going to have DRS, and this will let Cameron pull away from Cones. As there shows, Cameron's pace was holding his pace, but he's gone purple. In Sector 1 now. Now he's just trying to get away from Cones before the DRS, the detection line in the turn 1. AXA is still P3, about 2.2 seconds now. And then the big train from all the way to P10 now, because Google is catching these guys. As the Noir and Joker now side by side. Noir's being pushed to the outside. Josh Unknown has the inside line. But ooh, he's cut across in the last second. As Liam's unfortunately having a bit of internet issues, which has cut on his internet out, unfortunately. We'll cut back to Cameron. Cameron has not got the gap though on DRS. He just couldn't pull away properly. But now, is Cohen's going to go for a re-overtake, or is he going to pit? As Axe's pitted. It's a bit of an early score, but he knows he's probably going for mediums now to the rain. And not the other one, Yolmir and Silicis. As I'm going to go back to Funky and Makaboto, who are going side by side there. And Funky gets position. That's how powerful the DRS around here is. He's not using any DRS and just pulled away. Noir gets another time penalty. As a lot of the guys pitting, as Axe's currently out in clean traffic in P9. As there goes his teammate, Joker. I'm so surprised Joker did not let him stay ahead, but we'll have to see what happens at the next corner. But this race, obviously, it could be for... Obviously, is Axel going for an undercut to hold position against Funky and all that? As there are yellow flags. Oh, is that Joker? That's Josh Unknown. I always forget the colours of Williams and Alpine's the same. Josh Unknown's had a bit of a moment, unless some sort of contact caused this. Well, we'll have to wait and see after the race, since I've got the student in, obviously, for this. But now, is Cameron or Cohen's going to pit, obviously? These can't go, but remember the mediums... No, Cameron had a bit of a moment coming out of the corner. The corner. Ugh, Jesus. Funky's not going to pit either. Makaboto does, though. He's going for an undercut on Funky. And same with Guwil, who pits as well. I think Guwil is just trying to find a car he can follow. And let's see, is he going for softs again? Yes, he is. Guwil's hoping the conditions are going to get same with Makaboto. This worked last week, since they both got a podium. But there goes Axa. And they've got a few cars to get past now. Makaboto is just... no, he's not. I think Yomi is just going to get him here. Oh no, Makaboto's got a hold position. Now, Funky must pit if he's going to hold position. He has to push like hell on this lap. Silicis gets 3 seconds and a yellow flag. Oh, who's that? It's Google again! Something's happened to him again! Is it turn 1 again for him? Google is struggling in turn 1 and turn 2. So this could be, leading another person to win today here. Cameron and Cohen still don't pit, as Cohen's now obviously leads now, so I missed that again. For God's sake, I've missed a lead change again. Funky... Surprisingly, there's not, along with Kenan. Oh, that's a bit of a bold strategy here. As the no clouds have popped up yet, there's just a few. But not enough to warrant the pit stop. But Google, I don't think might not even getting the points at this rate. As he side by side Wojtinho in the stadium and gets a solid move, but now Wojtinho's going to have DRS on him. So this could bite Gould back, as Joker is getting overtaken by Matt of Butter. But I'm going to go cut back to those two as a Celistis and Yomi are side by side for turn 1. No contact, now Yomi has the inside line. And he's going to hold it as well, but not now. Celistis has DRS on him. Is he going to go for a late move on the brakes? He is. He's going for Ricardo style, turn this corner. No contact still. And pushed wide there, keeps in the throttle. Yomi still has the inside line. Contact again. And Yomi's going to hold it off. Now I'm going to go into the front two. Are they going to pit yet? No, they still aren't. It's lap 12 now. This is definitely when the softs are going to start dying off. Same with Funky, Ken and Javier. They aren't pitting either. Are they? I wonder if they... No way they're trying to push in the same softs before rain. That's impossible. We're going to have punches everywhere if that's going to happen. But we've got a lot of battles going on. As Marco Botta has proven that the new softs are working. He's fastest car on track now. But he is catching Axel, who's ahead of him. So we'll have to wait and see if he's going to get anywhere near. And obviously, can he make the tyres last before the rain? Because if he has to pit again before the rain. Yellow flags. Safari, I think that's Hassan. Yes, it is Hassan. He's kept it going, frankly. He must just span out. Whew. Let's go. There's RGB and Liam. This is battle for P15, these two in the F2 division. And he's taking it with ease. But now, I'm still curious if the top two are going to pit yet. As Cameron is starting to lose touch now to Coens. I think I would pit if I was him. As no, he's going to keep going. So Cameron's struggling to keep up to Coens now, because Coens just let some more pace out. But we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen here now. Because he has DRS now, but how long is he going to have DRS? Because now he is struggling to keep up to Coens now. But I've missed this. Ken's overtook Funky for P4 now. As RGB gets a penalty along with Kuligan. I can never say the name properly. I'm so sorry I'm butchering your name. Makabotta is going to come at Axa now. And the side by side, Makabotta is going to take the move into the inside and gets it. Makabotta's now got clean track again. Is he going to go even faster this time? As Yomi and Joker are on a side by side battle. Joker gets the position off track. But we'll have to see how this goes. Actually, I have 20 viewers. Thank you everyone who's watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope you're enjoying this race today at Mexico. As the clouds are starting to come in, you can see now. But the guys have to pit now. The softs are going to be going off now. Codes does not pit. Oh wow, I think these guys are all trying to push for the wet window. Oh, Funky. I think Funky might pit because he's touching his tyres. No, he does not. But he might be attacked by Javier now, as Ken's slowly inching away. But is Makabotta going to go any quicker now? No, he'll not get any quicker. But Axe is now in the prime position now, because look how dark it's got now after a few laps to go. We're on lap 15 of the Mexican Grand Prix here at F1 division. And Coens still leads after a little bit of jostling between him and Cameron, but Coens could be on for another victory here in Mexico, which would be astounding. He wins in F2 and F1. But we will have rain, it looks like, much earlier, I feel like. Maybe 10 laps, I feel like, we'll have rain. But, obviously, it's going to be when the pit is the major concern. As the Wojtinho now joins the penalties, as we've got about a quarter of the drivers now on penalties. Oh man, this race could be decided in the wet. It's going to be definitely decided in the wet conditions. Like who can manage them? As Coens and Cameron keep going for 50 laps on these softs. 16, including quality lap. They are pushing these tyres all the way to the edge. There is rain. It's started raining already. As you look at the halo now, you can see raindrops appearing. These two might have gambled brilliantly and it's worked, but they're now going to manage the tyres. Because this is where punching territory is going to start happening. But now, it's going to be the question is, when to pit and when does the rain get heavier? So I think that's what the top 5 have went for. They're going to stay on the one stop until the inters come out. As Demore gets, unfortunately, another penalty. We'll just have a quick check of penalties. Oh, there you go. Yellow flag. Oh, no, it's out. Is that going to trigger anything? Safety car. That could change the face of the race here. Because the guys in the front... Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. Now, what do the guys in the front do? Because the rain's coming, but their tyres are going to be very dead at the start. So we're going to stick to Coens. What is Coens going to do? He's going to pit. Cameron must have to follow, yes. But now, are they going for dries or are they going for inters? Oh, Coens got the inters already. That's a big gamble. And same as Cameron, these two are going for inters straight away, along with everyone else. So this is going to be a massive gamble here. No, yeah, Makabota, you couldn't. Makabota's missed the pit window. As there go Cameron and Coens, they might not have tyres up the temperature yet, but they are on the tyre which will be better in the rain. Funky's jumped Ken because of the double stop. But now, everyone has pitted apart from Makabota. Makabota unfortunately missed the pit window and knew he couldn't get over the lines. So unfortunately, he's going to have the better tyre manage at the start. If the rain doesn't keep getting heavier. So the track right now is probably in the crossover period. But Makabota will need to push to get ahead of everyone before. Now this could be a bit of a shit because the race is entered lap 17. We're only just going to be hit half distance. These guys are going to definitely not stop again. But now it's going to be can these guys manage the inters for nearly half the race now? And it's fortunately not just one McLaren, both McLarens. Joker's just pitting for softs. Oh no! So now there's only 3 cars on the soft compound tyres. But now, I don't know what Makabota's going to do though. He needs to pit, but at the same time, he'll lose so much time now. But the biggest one right now, Google's only P11 on the inters. Let's see, is Makabota gonna pit? Yes, he is. He's gonna overtake Cameron and Codes. Oh no. And thankfully, the cars get past him, but he's now gonna be behind a lot of cars. As I think even Google is gonna get past him, as both McLarens are pitted. With a double stack for them. Makabota got ahead of Google, but Google is gonna get back ahead. And I don't think it's just gonna be him. I think Yomi can do it as well. Yes, Makabota is fortunately went from P3 to P11. He's lost 8 positions. Now, don't forget... Oh, no, Liam. Oh, no, Liam. Oh, Liam. Liam, I think that's Liam's proper bot. And unfortunately, it's picked softs again. So Liam's very happy about that. Oh boy. So everyone apart from Liam is now on softs. It's on inters, sorry. So Liam has to do another full lap to get on the inters. As I think we'll probably have one more lap of safety car. Hassan is just too far back to catch up, I feel like. So now I was going to ask again, who do you think is going to be on the podium today after what happened at the start of the dry period? because the wet is something completely different. Especially because around this track, the track gets very, very slippery, especially Sector 2. So just holding the car is what you need to do. Because Sector 2 is deadly in the dry, but in the wet it's even worse. So now it's going to be the question is like, who can get the positions up? Can Guil come back from P9? Can Cameron get his victory? Can Corns win for back-to-back races? After this safety car restart, as Liam has to pit again, yep. And unfortunately, he gets into this time, let's hope. Comes to the pit now. Yay! He's finally got inters on. Yes, I got a feeling we'll be going green after this lap. Remember, we still have another DRS window. So the DRS is still activated at the moment. Because we haven't had the confirmation that DRS has been disabled. So this could be a bit of good racing for some of the guys for DRS before it gets deactivated. But it might be activated straight after the restart. But let's just see how this goes. As we're on now lap 19, we should be going green this lap. As we have a quarter of the grid currently have penalties. I won't show them again. We only have one driver out, which is Noir. Unfortunately, lost it just before the stadium. But now this is going to be who can manage the tyres and the track temperature the best, because the safety car must be in this lap, which it is. Cameron will lead the way. No, not Cameron. Collins will lead the way, sorry. Collins won in the dry, but can he do it in the wet now? So we're just waiting for green now, but the question is, Collins was very good at the restarts yesterday, so can he do that again here? Because he goes on the lap, just on the exit of corner. As Collins is gone just after Stadia, and he's caught Cameron out. Collins has done this restart time and time again in F2, and it's worked out again in F1. He has a second over Cameron. Great restart by him though, and Ken got an awful restart also. This is gonna be like to see what's gonna happen. Liam already gets a position already. As it looks like, I think we don't have DRS now, yeah? So probably just hasn't, either missed it or haven't seen it. But Cohen, though, just absolutely blitzed everyone as Makabotta is getting past Yolmir. And along with Wojtinho. Yolmir must have had a moment in turn 2. But he's all over Makabotta and he's rammed in the rear of him. I did not expect that from Wojtinho after what he did last week in Belgium. I thought he'd go for the inside line. But we'll have to, I think he probably doesn't think it's good enough yet. Ooh. On me. But still leading the way is Collins, because if Collins does this, as Josh No gets past Yomi must have some little damage, and Makabotta gets 3 seconds now. We are now on to 6 drivers with penalties. No, 7, sorry. This is going to be interesting. Guil is stuck behind his teammates, Guil looks to be struggling a bit. Joker gets past RGB, Yolmir gets a penalty, but Corn still leads, and look at him go already, he's a second away from Cameron. Joker now gets, oh god, here we go. We are now, oh, for Pete's sake, we are now on 10 drivers now with penalties. Great. But Cameron's just struggling to keep up the corns down the wet. And obviously Collins has clear track, and obviously there's no DRS now, so Cameron has to make the move in these conditions if he's going to win. But Collins, the fact he went from F3 champion to F2 race victor in Mexico. If he does this, he does a clean sweep in both leagues. If something's happened to AXA just blipped up completely there. AXA gets past Javier, And Guil finally gets past his teammate, who's going to leave the door for Makabota now to squeeze in. But Noilusa now is ahead of Guil, but Guil now has Makabota. He has been improving quite a lot this season. Obviously, can he get one over the champ today? So let's see how it goes, as we're going to start lap 22. Cameron is just not able to catch up to the Cones. He slowly gets up to him, but then Cone just can't catch up to him. Oh, sorry, I had to take a little break there, but a breather. But Ken has sort of catch up to Funky. But remember, Ken has penalties, which I'm not going to disclose. But this could be bad for the podium without penalties for Ken. Ken's one of those drivers who's very, very consistent around a certain track when he learns a track. But let's see if he can do it again here today. What are they? So let's see if anyone else is going for moves. Obviously, I think everyone's just a bit too far away from everyone to make moves at the moment. But right now, Goo will be off the podium today again. I think this will be only the second time he's been off podium. Because he was a DNF. No, he didn't. Actually, yeah, I might be right there, but I'm going to check this quickly. But we'll stick on to Cones as he's starting to lose time now. Cameron's slowly reeling them in. It was 1 second at the start of this lap, it's now like 3 times closer now. RGB gets under penalty. This is shaping up to a bit of a penalty central race again, as we only have 7 drivers without a penalty yet. Which is Guwil, Liam, Axel, Javier, Cameron and Cones. But I don't see Cones letting Cameron pass anytime soon unless something happens. And it's the same with Ken. Ken needs to be much closer on the exit to make a move. Let's just check here. Yeah, Google's only been off the podium once before, and that was Spain, and then Imola when he crashed out. So this will be his third no qualifiers. Oh, there goes Axa! Sorry, I looked at the phone for a second. I just saw Axa whizzing past the outside there, Ken. As further back, Noilus is going to side by side with Cecilix. Sorry, I butchered that name so badly. I'm so sorry. And he takes P9. Wojtinho is now hungry for the points. But Wojtinho is just, unfortunately, as Cecilix has to go wide there to keep the line. But the fact that Cameron and Cones have just pulled away from these guys. Wojtinho now gets the penalties again. Cameron slowly reeled them in, but he just can't get near him on exit of this corner. There's a bit of a move. That's going to cost him a time. Oh man. So this could be a bit of a stalemate, unfortunately, unless something happens, because Axe's now going to be on Funky's tail. But now he's going to see us further back. Google's going for P6 on Javier. Google's going to have the inside line. Javier can keep it going. He'll have the inside line for turn 2. But Google's just that later on the brakes and gets ahead. So he is determined not to let this podium go. Yes. Thank you for the kind words. Aja. Sorry, I butchered your name. Sorry. As Makabota's going for the diamond, Javier. And Makabota side by side with Javier in the first mini sector, stadium sector. And Makobota's inching ahead. Javier's trying to match him. Yellow flag. Who's that? That's Yomi and Joker. Joker's in the wall. Safety car. Now we've got to reset again. Now everyone's going to catch back up. And that, I did not expect a safety car. I expected a virtual safety car at least. But we have a full course safety car. But wow, this is going to... this might help some guys get close to their position now. No one, of course, is going to pit from Joker, who has no front wing. But this could change some guys' position, because this could help like drivers like Axa, because he'll be close to the Funky now and restart. You have Ken, obviously he has penalties, but he is close. But the major one is going to be Google. Google's going to be behind these guys now, and he's going to have a solid chance for a podium as Josh Unknown's pitted along with JML and Hassan. So I wonder what they're pitting for, because even if they go for new inters, they unfortunately won't gain too much time or positions, I feel like. But you never know. This game is broken to hell. So we are on our second safety car here today. This one was triggered by a collision between Yomi and Joker, who have just finished their pit stops. Code still leads now, and we will have, I think, maybe 9 laps to the finish. Lap 27, the restart should be. So let's hopefully the guys can catch back up and we can get going for green for 9 more laps here at Mexico. Obviously, let's see if anyone's predicted Coles is going to win here at the moment, along with Cameron and Funky. So we'll have 2 people from the United Kingdom on the podium today. Cameron obviously being Scottish and Funky obviously English. And then obviously Coles the Portuguese. So now, it's going to be the question obviously, is Coles going to do the same restart, or is Cameron going to have to follow him and catch him off guard? Because Coles' restarts are really good, because he gained a second over Cameron. Cameron was slowly reeling them in before the safety car came out. Cameron's going to be wise to Coles' antics at the start. But we'll have to hope that Cameron can stay to him this time and have an entertaining race to the end of this Mexican Grand Prix. The cars, Joker's the first car right now, and it's just about at the stadium sector, while the cars in the lead are just in turn 1. So I'm hoping we should have a safety car end at the end of this lap, if the cars can catch up before the S's. But let's just let's just see if anything's going to happen in the last few laps, because you never know what can happen here. But it looks like it's going to stay into conditions. No change, I feel like, for the tyres. Unless you were Josh Unknown, Hassan and JML, who pitted for fresh inters. So I think they're thinking that that might help them get into the points positions today. But let's just see what will happen here. Josh Unknown, the only F1 driver who obviously would like to get some points today, after starting P in pole 14 along with Joker, P18, as the Jokers just should catch the cars and it hopefully should trigger it at the end of this lap. I'm hoping, because I would like to go, we'll hopefully can get rolling in lap 27 for the restart here, as the safety car would have been told by now. I think, unfortunately, we'll be going for another lap now. So we'll be restarting for lap 28. No, it's not. It's gone very late. So we're going to go racing lap 27 now. That was very late by the safety car in the stadium sector. But Coles has to slow down because he can't overtake the safety car when it's in the pits. But now, obviously, watch Coles' restart. When's he going to go? It's Macabota. Oh, that's going to be reported. Macabota just took over Google, and we are restarting. Coles gets another blinder. He pulled 7 tenths. But look at this, Ken and Macabota. Macabota is definitely being reported for that incident of the safety car. But Ken, obviously, side by side, even further back, it's Javier Noiluser. Macabota's got the inside line on Ken. And he's going to take it. He's into P5 now. You know, it's Axa ahead of him. Obviously, but Cameron just can't keep it to Coles yet again. JBL gets another penalty. But Coles is on a mission here to make it 2 races in a row here at Mexico's victories. As Cameron's sliding to keep up to him, he hasn't got his tyres warmed up, I feel like. But Coles is struggling too. As I'm watching the guys who've pitted, they haven't made any progress yet. So they haven't made any positions for pitting for fresh inters. But obviously these guys have got another 9 laps on these inters. Could we see some dramatic footage going on in the last few laps? As Javier is now another one to join the penalties. This is not going to end well. We are now only on 5 survivors. As Javier's had a big moment. Oh no, something's happened to Javier because he's backed out and let everyone past him. Unless he's lost the car and just did not want to rejoin unsafe. Which is a good honest thing about you, Javier, if you did that. Hassan gets 3 seconds for corner cutting. But Cole's just, the fact that these two are pulled away 2 seconds away already from Funky is staggering. Like, there's pace, and then there's what these two are doing. Because are these two going to be next season's champions? Never know. It's Google got some great. As Javier's retired in the pits, something has unfortunately happened to him. So, unfortunately, Javier, after a good start, who's had a chance for a podium today, fortunately has to retires in the pits. Either something happened to him or something happened in real life with him. But we'll stick to these two. I still bat them. We have the last podium position hasn't been decided either. Makamoto has penalties, but obviously Axa and Funky don't. So these two are going to be battling to the flag along with Guwil. But Makamoto is definitely going to be reported, I feel like, by the Frenchman for that restart. But we'll just hopefully stay onto this. That's Javier's messaging now in the F1 chat. As now we're starting lap 29 now. Cohen has nearly a second lead still over Cameron with 7 laps to go. But it, oh god, yeah, turn that last corner in the wet is very slippery. But it looks like no one's close enough to make a move. Hassan gets another time penalty. As Silas has gone wide. This is going to allow Wojtinho to get a better run on him here. As I noticed, Wojtinho is just going to be too far back to make a move here. But I feel like unless something happens, we might have a bit of a stalemate now. Because Funky's now nearly 4 seconds away from these guys ahead. Like that, wow. That pit is astounding by these two in the wet. But obviously these two are focusing. Obviously Cameron, this could be his first victory in Ero. Cohen's, this could be his first win in F1. And his first one here. But Mexico is a track that he loves, it seems. He just has such a solid pace around here today. So it looks like Cohen struggles in Sector 2, but he's managing to get away in Sector 1 and Sector 3. So I feel like Cameron might have less downforce, it seems. But we don't, obviously, I don't know this confirmed. Obviously, Cohen's usually struggling in Sector 2 in general. Yolmir gets another penalty, as Funky's gone very wide there. But Cameron's just too far back to make a move. Cohen's obviously uses the same ERS. And he's weaving, obviously, he's allowed one move, remember. But Axel's starting to drop off now on Funky, so Funky might have some breather room to keep the last podium position today. Obviously, this will be his second podium of the season if he can keep this up. Funky's one of those drivers who has good pace when he can get the car out of his fullest. Josh is known, though, as teammate. It's P11 now. He's side-by-side with Liam. And Liam's, thankfully, not going to fight him, obviously knowing he's on better tyres. But Josh, obviously, has a good chance for points now. Since everyone ahead of him has penalties, so Josh could have a solid amount of penalties now. We won't show the penalties anymore now, to keep the results a secret. But now Guwil has joined this chase for P3 now. He got overtaken by Makabot just before the restart. So obviously the Frenchman probably wasn't very happy about that. But Makabot seems to be struggling slightly now. Pardon me, but meanwhile, Cohen's is starting to lose time. Cameron's all over him now. It's 5 tenths only now. It was 7 tenths a few laps ago. You have now 5 laps to go here, and these two could be on for a big finale battle. We could have a new victor in F1, but who is it going to be? Is it going to be the Portuguese maestro Cohen's? Or is Cameron, the Scottish man, going to get it today? Why I say that? Why of all the things do I say? But Ghoul is going to make an attack on Makobotta. Makobotta moves left and right, but he's going to get past. And Makobotta is going to lose. He's P5 now. The Frenchman has a great recovery drive from P19 at turn 2. And lap 1 all the way to P5. It's a great recovery drive by him, sorry. I forgot what I was going to say. But Josh Malone is the points now. So Sullivan's out for some good points. Now the top 5 don't have any penalties. But obviously Cameron, for 7 seconds now. Like, wow, I'm sorry. But these two are on a different planet here today for some reason. Like, 7 seconds is major in Mexico. But now, we are on the entrance, there's 4 laps to go. Cameron is still determined to get his first victory here. It'll be his first podium. But I think he wants the top step so badly today. And Funky is just having to hold off his second podium against Axa, Ghoul, Makobotta. It's not easy opposition behind Funky, but he is holding them off still. But we'll have to see what happens, obviously, as... Oh, hello, that's why I was wondering why Bike's pitted. They pitted for wet. Did they... Oh my... wait a minute, it actually does look more wet. As I've just been told by... That's a confidence problem. I think it is getting heavier. Oh my word, this is... Oh god. We have 4 laps to go here, and people started pulling the wets on. As now Hassan and Yomi do. Oh my god, what do? Do you stay out, or do you pit? Oh, this might shape the race up now. Oh, yeah. As you can tell, people start pitting for wets, and you can definitely tell the track's much, much wetter. But what do? Do you pit for wets and risk track position, or do you pit, or you stay on your inters for the last 3 laps? Yellow flags, that is JML, who's out of the session. That can't trigger anything unless it triggers a 2-lap safety car. But it looks like not be triggering anything. As he's just retired and... Oh, for Pete's sake. As we are now... Well, Coles is now struggling now. Cameron could be on for this here. As look at Coles, he's struggling. I'm not the only one, Cameron. These guys are not going to pit. You can definitely tell these are going to the end now. Now, is anyone else going to pit? Funky's not pitting. Axe's not pitting. None of you. Look, Ghoul! What a save by Ghoul there. But you can tell these guys are inching their way through the track now. But look how heavy the rain is. As Lee now joins the penalties. This is going to be an interesting finale now. The conditions have went from inters to wets in a few laps now. Who is going to hold their inters to the end of the race? Because none of these guys are going to pit. Because they want to keep track position. But the bigger person I'm seeing is Cameron, who's now all over Lee. This Cameron's all over Cones now. Like, is this race shaping up to Cameron now? Oh, this is going to be an interesting finale. Who's going to last with Cameron to stride in the sector in the S's? Oh my word! One false move is going to wreck their race completely. Oh, Funky! Funky had a big moment there and he's managed to catch it, but Axe is now catching up. These guys have still 2 more laps of these conditions on inters. Oh, this is going to be something now to show. Like, just, they've got no traction. At all. Josh Malone gets a penalty now. He's on another penalties now. But this, these conditions are awful. Funky's pulling away from Axie, who's struggling. I don't know what's going to happen now. Because everyone from P13's on wet now, but none of the drivers now want to pit. I don't know who's going to win this race. Cole's has advantage, but Cameron seems to be better at these conditions. Oh, I just don't know who's going to win. Well, the podium, Funky's pulling away from Axel now. Axel's struggling in these conditions. Oh my! These conditions are atrocious now. As pointed out, Wojtinho is catching to by 2.5 seconds, but we only have 2 laps to go now. So, unfortunately, unless Wojtinho can have a mega last few laps, he unfortunately will not be getting any points here today. But Combs could be on for an absolute incredible back-to-back victories in Mexico from F2 to F1 today. Probably the first time this has probably happened in Ero history. As we start lap 35, 2 more runs of this track now in wet conditions and inters. As now Axel is going to be under fire from his French counterpart Guil. Guil is on an absolute storm in recovery. I see he was P1, he got pole position, but then span out at turn 2. As we have 2 laps to go now, who is going to get the win? Who is going to be on the podium? Which Frenchman's going to finish ahead of each other? As Guil's got more ERS, is he going for a move in turn 1? Axel moves to the inside, Guil's got shown the outside. Massive lock up by Guil! And he just can't do it as Liam spins out on wet. Oh, this is going to be edited. Axel's still struggling. He has no ERS compared to Guil. Axel's going to defend the inside. Yes, he does. Guil's like on the outside line. And he's going to lock up. He just can't turn. Axel's going to hold him off again. Great defending by the Alpine driver. So then he speeds in the pits, and I think he is retiring. Fortunately. But Collins, meanwhile, has been slowly inching away from Cameron again. Cameron looks to have needs a miracle last lap here. As we're going to start the last and penultimate lap. Sorry, well, the penultimate lap now. We have 1 more track round here, round Mexico. Collins leads, but he has been delicate as hell for the final lap here. Cameron's 8/10 back. Funky's pulled 4 seconds on Axel. But Axel's now got Google all over his gearbox. Cameron's just starting to lose touchdown on Collins. Collins could be on for an absolutely unlikely victory here today. But Collins has shown absolute brilliance today. Started P3 on the grid. And then absolutely managed to tie it perfectly for Inters. As Axel is still better than Guil I've just seen. But Guil's got the outside line. Now the inside. Guil's into P4. And Axel gets a penalty. And Axel unfortunately loses the 4th position on the final lap. But now we'll cut to the top 2 now. Cameron's caught back up to Collins now. Cameron's catching up with sector 2 now. He's catching slowly, but he's just too far back at the moment. Liam is just ahead, but that's him a lap down nearly. Like this, we're into the stadium sector now. Can Cameron do anything here? He's right on the gearbox. Is he going to go for it? He's gone for it in the last corner. Who's going to win it? Oh, Cameron! Cameron's going to win in the last corner. That's exceptional. Oh my word! Cameron's nicked it in the last corner to win! Oh my word! Oh my word! Goes to P2 and Funky's gonna get the podium! Oh! And no one's gonna get P9, Guil P4, Axel P5, Macabota P6. No, oh, there goes Ken. Oh my word! Oh my! That was entertaining to say the least. What a move by Cameron to win it on the last corner. That's incredible. That's the first time we don't have someone apart from Guil and Drake winning. It's the Scotsman of Cameron who gets the victory. Oh my word. Oh, what? Oh, Corns though was absolutely exceptional today. We just lost out in the final corner. Cameron put his car in just in the right place. He won by 3 tenths at the end. But these two put on an absolute brilliant show. Funky gets another podium today. And Google snatches P4 from Axel within the final lap. Oh, God, this is going to be an interesting race next week. If this is going to happen. Oh, boy. Makabotta P6, Noivesy P7, Ken, GML, and Josh and Noel will get the points after pitting for the new Inters. For new Inters, obviously. And then RGB, Joker, Wojtinho, Yomi, Hassan, Liam, GML, Javier, and the War. Like, what a race, man. What a race. Like, that was exceptional. Oh, hopefully get the interviews done with these guys. Oh, but what a race by Coens though. Coens getting his second race in F1 and nearly wins it. That's exceptional. Oh wow. I can't believe that race. Oh wow. Coens just, oh, I'm so devastated for Coens, but at the same time happy for another victory here today of Cameron. Oh, wow. Oh, oh God, that was an entertaining race to say the least. So I'm going to get the interviews started. Sorry, wrong button. Get the party up.